Okay, so in February, I made a predictions video on what we would see in the upcoming Pokemon Presents video, and none of it was right. So I thought I would come back and do this again for the one that's gonna happen tomorrow, as I'm recording this. And I thought I'd mainly focus on the Diamond and Pearl remix and what I think is gonna happen there because I don't have much to say about Legends Arceus. I mean, I'm excited for the game, but I don't know what I can predict. It's very new, which is kind of ironic since it's the oldest one in the timeline. But yeah, it's a new concept, and I don't have much I can say, um, which is not what the case for Diamond and Pearl Remix. I have a lot to say about these games, so we'll start by covering a pretty common topic, the Battle Frontier. Now, I know we're dealing with Pokemon here, and they don't like to do stuff like this. It takes it uses this kind of weird thing called effort, so I don't think they're kind of on board. But there is another studio working on it, and I'm sure they have the resources to put it in more so than ORAS. So maybe I think they might put it in because they don't have to remodel it too much. They just have to make it in 3D, and I'm pretty sure the original was in 3D anyway. So just make a new 3D model based on that, and you're good to go. So yeah, I think we have a fair shot of getting it in there, and it would be a pretty good thing to advertise at the back of the box. So it would make sense, a lot of sense. So yeah, I do think we might get it, but I don't know. I might be hoping too much here. There's also a fair chance we'll just get a generic battle tower, which will just be kind of boring. So I mean, I do have platinum, so I can experience the battle frontier already, but it would be really cool to see it. Um, in the remakes too. Like, come on. And another topic is the Union Room. Now we did see the Union Room, so this is not like based off of nothing. We could see in the image that there are a ton of people in there, like a lot. And this it not only shows us what the trainer classes are going to look like, but it shows us how the Union Room is going to work. Because you don't need me to tell you this, but if you're playing locally, you're probably not going to have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people with you. So that leads me to believe that the Union Room is going to be online. Maybe like not online with randoms, but online with friends. That would make sense. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the case because that's what the Union Room was originally. So we're definitely going to see that again. I don't know if you'll need to switch online for that, but yeah, it's definitely going to be online. It's like that's the likeliest thing here. And next, I want to talk about something that I think might happen. Usually when a Pokemon game launches, they have an event to coincide with it. You know, X and Y had that hidden ability Torchic, and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon had the Lycanroc, not Lycanroc, but Rockruff that could evolve into Dusk Lycanroc. So yeah, they like to do these tie-ins, and I think a perfect tie-in for the BDSP remakes would be the Manaphy egg. Like, just hear me out here. So I mean, the way you got the Manaphy egg in the original was with Pokemon Ranger. But I think they could just do this thing where you like could connect to Wi-Fi and then just receive the egg. Maybe they wouldn't shiny lock it as well. Maybe it would like um yeah, that'd be a good tie-in event. And other than that, I mean, other options for a tie-in event would probably be like, who knows, maybe Shaman or like this isn't a new game, so they don't have as much room to make it like for Oras. It was like a like a Beldon with a Metagross Megastone that was shiny. So that was pretty special because the only way you'd be able to get that in game was to shiny hunt for it after you beat the game and then beat the league again to get the Megastone. But I don't know how they do that for BDSP since there's no alternative to Megas. In fact, there's probably not even going to be Dynamax. So there's a lot less they could do. I mean, if they gave us a shiny Gibble, then that would just be a spit in the face. Because I mean, I don't need to remind you of how Garchomp looks with its shiny. So a shiny Pokemon would be out of the question. And as for mythicals, um, they don't want to undermine the mythicals because they originally had entire areas built for them. So that would kind of be out of the question too. So all they're left with is the Manaphy egg. I don't see much else that they could do for a tying event, and it would make a lot of sense. It would definitely get a lot of people excited. So yeah, I think the Manaphy egg is probably their best bet here. And then another thing that's probably really obscure to you, it's dual slot mode. Now I haven't used this for myself, but I definitely know how it works. If you have a DS or DS Lite, bas- if you don't know what it is, basically, you could get a Generation 3 game, any one of them, and then you could put it in the slot 2, and while you're playing Pokemon Diamond or Pearl, it's not in Heart Gold, so Silver, it is in Platinum, you can, like, go to a route, and the encounters will be different. For example, if you go to Lake Verity, the lake at the start of the game, um, and you have Pokemon Ruby, you can encounter Soul Rock in the grass if you like have it inserted, and you could catch it. So, what I think they could do is they could do they could also like make combine it with the expanded Dex and Auras, so and make it so that after you get the National Pokedex, the encounters are the same as the dual slot feature. Now, that sounds a little that sounds like it's easier said than done because the encounters do change depending on what cartridge is in there. Like, for example, if you had Sapphire instead of Ruby, you'd get a Lunatone instead of Solar Rock. So I don't know how they're gonna convert that. That's gonna be a bit rough. But maybe they'd like have a special encounter that like they could just change it depending on whether it's day or night. I think it would be a good idea to include them in there because it would kind of be like Oras and Diamond and Pearl mixed together. It would be a bit hard to do, and it's kind of unlikely. It would be after the national decks, though, of course. But what makes that a little bit hard is some of the encounters that you could get only via dual slot mode in Diamond and Pearl were added to the Platinum Pokedex. So if they end up putting the Platinum Pokedex in the remakes, then this mode would be severely downgraded, and I'm pretty sure they'd just use it for the Pokemon that for the dual slot Pokemon that were in Platinum. Which, if you don't know, like the list was actually decreased in that game because of the decks. So yeah, that's I think that's the route they'll end up going if they do choose the Platinum decks. But I could see it happening. Um, they don't want to abandon the feature, I'm sure. Or maybe they could do like this thing where if you have save data or like save data for Pokemon, Let's Go Pikachu, you could in Eevee you could get the exclusives. That would be pretty neat. But you I don't know, I'm not so sure how that would work. I don't if you have save data for both games, that'll kind of be a mess. So um, yeah, maybe it's a little too hard to implement, but it's something interesting to consider. And finally, I want to talk about the Great Marsh. Um, honestly, I think they're gonna end up putting the platinum decks in there. I mean, Ruby and Sapphire did put the Emerald sort of Pokedex, and they even expanded it. So I think it's pretty safe to say that platinum, like the platinum Pokedex, is gonna be in the remakes, and I think that's gonna transfer over to the Great Marsh. I think after you get the national Pokedex, you'll be able to actually catch the international Pokemon. And I think they'll actually model the Great Marsh after the one in Platinum, the one that's more, not gloomy, but yeah, you know what I mean. And Diamond and Pearl is a lot brighter, like a forest. I think we saw in the trailer that Eterna Forest was modeled after Platinum, so it's pretty safe to say they're taking some cues from that game. I really hope they model the Lost Tower after Platinum as well, because I'm not gonna have that like daycare that they had in Diamond and Pearl. So that's all I have to predict for these games. And one thing I didn't include in the picture reel that you see in front of you is the idea of character customization. Which I mean, I know they did put it in Oras, but it was in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. If you can really call that character customization, that was like the worst one we'd seen so far. But for here, I think they'll at least put an outfit change for the platinum outfits after you beat the game or something. That'll be pretty cool. And one thing I'm sure they might do is a little bonus if you have save data for Legends Arceus. maybe that you could like get some of the starters. I don't know. Wait, actually, I don't know if that would be a good idea because some of them are from the future generations. Yeah, this really makes me question whether or not they're gonna include the like the Pokemon from after Generation 4. Which like I don't know. Are they gonna do that? It's really that one's really up in the air. I can't really confirm nor deny whether or not they're gonna do that. But honestly, I don't think it's gonna be the worst. Like it's probably not gonna be the best remake ever. In fact, I can't really call it a remake. Um, if it was a remake, a remake usually is in the style of whatever the current generation is, like Fire Red Leaf, Green Heart, Gold Soul Silver, and Oras. But Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and this have kind of been deviating from that. So I don't know what they're gonna do in terms of the Pokédex, but I do know that they might put in some stuff from Platinum, and I do know that the Manaphy Egg is probably gonna be the best tie-in event. So that's all I want to talk about with this, and yeah, let's hope at least some of this comes true tomorrow. And bye.